if China is advocating masculinity for its men, they know masculinity is a Lindy value. Masculine people build, create, protect, provide, and instruct. That sounds like a winning combination for civilization. In America, what do? The American Psychological Association deems masculinity toxic, risk-taking, competitiveness, aggression needs to be medicated and therapeutically removed from children. We have a formal demasculinization policy in America to make us weak, to make us less builders, less of creators, less of protectors, less of providers, less of instructors, whereas China knows that that's where the money is and that's where the power is. And so they're advocating it. This is a new twist that I was not aware of.
And it's been in the works for a while, especially if you look at the testosterone rates and the fertility rates in the West, especially in the United States, that are absolutely dropping.
Testosterone rate, group testosterone levels are down. Fertility and sperm rates, or sperm counts are down. And we got railed for this last time I talked about grip strength on this show.
We did?
Yeah, some guy made a video and just was mocking us the whole time. It was like he got like 20,000 views on it. It was funny.
Good for him.
All about grip strength. Yes, group grip strength is down. Why is that important? Because it is a factor, it is a data point that shows that men are weak.
Apparently hanging from tree branches will help.
It does, but we don't do that anymore because we keep our boys locked up inside, medicated, restricted, and we tell them that competitiveness and aggression and winning is bad. Everybody gets a medal.
What's this company you mentioned that has said the masculinity is toxic?
What's the company?
The
American Psychological Association. The largest mental health professional association in America believes that masculinity is toxic and must be treated.
Oh, that's gross.
It's disgusting. It's everywhere. And by the way, last bit of the rant, it is at the heart of the feminist argument, right? All societies have been patriarchal. All patriarchal societies are oppressive. Where does this patriarchal power come from? Men. What fuels that? Masculinity, masculine energy. How do we end oppression? How do we end patriarchies? We got to eliminate masculine energy. And that is why to be masculine today is to be a pariah, is to be a political dissident. And if you believe in this, come check us out, Liminal Order.
Very cool. Let's jump to this story because it's in a similar vein. This is from the New York Post. Charges against Central Park Karen Amy Cooper dismissed. Now you may be wondering to yourself, what does this story have to do with masculinity and China and all that, everything, actually? This is a story of the woman in Central Park where she had her dog not on a leash, and this other guy whose name was Chris Cooper, strange, they're not related, different names, and he was basically saying, put your dog on a leash. She said no. He tried offering the dog treats. She wigged out, started screaming, saying, you're threatening me, called the police, and she got arrested and charged with filing a false police report. In order to get the charges dismissed, as the New York Post reports, she underwent a psychoeducation at the critical, the Critical Theory Center or something like that, where they focused on equity. They say, Christian, who is in no relation to Amy, was telling the woman to leash her dog. Quote, psychoeducation about racial equity is woven into each therapy session to prompt understanding and reflection. Elizzy Orban told the judge of Amy Cooper's time with the Critical Therapy Center in Manhattan. Ms. Cooper's therapist reported that it was a moving experience and that Ms. Cooper learned a lot in their sessions together. Asked if she would speak, she said no. They go on to basically explain this is about racial equity training. That instead of going to jail, she was given the chance to go to the Critical Therapy Center, to undergo therapy sessions, individualized. Psychoeducation, they called it. In China, they enforce their ideology, which is China above all else. They will destroy you. They will weld your doors shut. They will kidnap you in the middle of the night, and they will beat you unless you are 100% for China. China is trying to make, as Luke mentioned, their men more masculine. In the U.S., we have similar things. They're now telling people to go to re-education centers instead of jail, but they're beating you down. They're telling you to hate America. They're telling young men to not be masculine and not be strong. It's flowing in one direction, a direction that ultimately results in China taking over the world stage, becoming the ultimate superpower. And my question to you is this. Would you like to live under Chinese rules?
No.
Of course not. Of course not.
I love how
that's the direction things are going.
Seriously.
When the NBA comes out and you have these stars being like, hey man, don't rag on China, they pay me a lot of money. In the pocket of the Communist Party. That means that you, your kids, your family, but you know what? Here's the other thing that's happening. As you mentioned, fertility rates are down. People don't have kids to worry about, and they're not going to worry about it. In America, I think we are being exploited and extracted. I think the Chinese Communist Party knew Thucydides' trap was predicting a hot war. So they said, how can we make it so that people won't fight a war? Well, if they don't have kids, they won't care to fight.
This is really interesting. Kissinger developed this concept of limited war after World War II in maybe the 60s or something. And basically they wanted to avoid a hot war, a total war in his words. So they've started making proxy wars. Vietnam was a proxy war. It was a limited war. Iraq, Afghanistan, limited wars. They don't want a total war with China. So now it seems like they don't even want an armed war with China. They just want to make it a cultural war.
No, China doesn't want an armed war with us. They're beating us in a fourth generation war right now.
I think even the global banking industry that's cartelling this arms race doesn't want a hot war.
So if just citing the San Diego paper that came out, fourth involved insurgent groups, fifth involved psychological warfare explicitly.
Okay, fine. Fourth and fifth together. But not only that, they have dumped a bunch of fentanyl in our country.
And designer drugs. It's more than that.
Yeah.
Where are these kids up in Massachusetts getting their drugs for their raids or for their raves? They go online and they order it, and it's made in China.
We used to get ours from Holland. It was much more fun back then. But China is polluting our country with drugs. They're polluting our universities with this communist Marxist ideology. They're helping advance this agenda of weakening our men. They're taking over transportation and infrastructure hubs all around the world. They have co-opted the state sport of Indiana, basketball. If we don't even control the highest expression of an American homegrown sport like basketball anymore, I know it seems kind of flimsy if you think about it, or just sort of not really related, but it is. What could be more related than that? They've captured an American institution.
Well, another thing to really think about here, as China's building power grids all over the world, ours is failing.
Indeed.
As we're spending trillions of dollars on wasteful wars like Afghanistan, China's not doing that. They're building bases and building relationships with a whole bunch of countries in the Middle East, as they're becoming the number one trading partner with countries like Iran, that they're trading oil for military gear for. And when you see this kind of presence, when you see this kind of prominence, you really have to start asking yourself, what is the United States doing? Well, they're doing a 9/11 style commission surrounding the insurrection, which is again another waste of time. Nothing about helping the people, increasing our wealth, increasing our health, increasing our existence on this planet. Only more stuff that, of course, divide and conquers us. And what's Biden's number one policy right now? Taking away firearms, disarming people, making them defenseless, as he's going to go after the Second Amendment soon.
Listen. Yeah. It's all just an indication of the collapse. I mentioned this the other episode. There's a funny article from NPR. It says National Guard will remain in D.C. until the fall.
The fall
of what?
The fall is the season or the fall?
What we're emphasizing here, and Luke, you mentioned it just now, is a great example. Our institutions are not only failing us, but they're counterproductive in our lives anymore. Institutions were meant to give you resources, information,
Structure.
health, meaning, right? They give you none of that now. All of our institutions have been co-opted and captured. And if you listen to what the institutions tell you, if you listen to conventional wisdom, where are you going to end up? Well, let's see. Nutritional pyramid. Oh, I'm going to be fat. Oh, go to college and borrow a bunch of money. Oh, I'm going to be in debt. Oh, get a job. And now, I'm chained to my desk. If you listen to our institutions, if you just listen to what they tell you to do, it is a fact. You will end up fat, sick, chained to a desk, and in debt for the rest of your life.
With 3 masks on.
Right.
Yeah.
With 3 masks on while you're alone in
Mm-hmm.
your own Chinese manufactured car.
Undergoing a critical therapy session to
Yep.
correct your bad behaviors because you dared call the police on someone.
And
That's
taking
gonna cost
now
you money.
3 rushed experimental jabs, as now Bill Gates, who also praised China for their response to COVID, just came out recently, also today, and now is saying that people need 3 shots of the coronavirus vaccine
can't
today.
help but think of utopia where the virus wasn't the real goal. It was getting everybody the vaccine to mark them for something else.
Well, are you talking about the original Utopia or the new one?
I'm talking about the original. I don't waste my time with that
Well,
bullcrap.
the new one was they canceled it because it was freaking people out, because the vaccine was sterilizing people. That was the spoiler alert, I guess.
Spoiler alert. That's the original one as well, yeah.
Oh, okay. So in the new show they canceled it, I guess, because they were like, a lot of people were thinking that, there's just some parallels here. Listen, I think we have a right to be free of cruel and unusual punishment. You commit a crime, you pay a fine, you go to jail, right? what this story is of this woman, this Karen, and the therapy session. This is they mentioned in the story that they've already been doing it with other people. It's been happening. They're giving you an ultimatum: cruel and unusual punishment or jail. Well, because jail has become this because it's awful. People are like, give me the re-education treatment. Because I'll just do the diversity training, right?
Bro, people went to Vietnam instead of go to jail. This is an offer that has been made by judges for all eternity. You can go do this terrible thing, but in this case, it was go serve your country in Vietnam.
Right.
It's a little bit different. They always give people alternatives to go to jail. I think, generally speaking, we really don't want people to go to jail.
Sure, but
generally speaking.
I'm just
but
saying
this is
that
the worst thing.
this
ever.
is the critical
This
theory
is terrible.
injection.
Yeah. No, it's like go have your brainwashing.
Yeah, seriously.
Right.
It's horrible.